What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to talk about two potential rule changes that they're currently talking about doing for Airbnbs in Colombia. They're both very different paths that we could go down that they're talking about doing. And like everything in Colombia, no one knows what the hell is going on, what's going to happen. Even right now, people really don't even know what's going on with Airbnb in Colombia. So the first path that we could go down, and this is one that I think is probably the most likely. It's being talked about in the news. It's passed the first round of Congress in Colombia, and basically what they're talking about doing is allowing any property in Colombia, whether it's residential, commercial, anything in Colombia, to be allowed to do Airbnb. And so to give some context on how it is currently, technically, if a property is zoned residential use, you cannot do Airbnb with that property. The reason I say technically is because, they made this rule change about a year and a half ago, where you have to go apply with the tourism board and get an RNT number. Like all things in Colombia, is not enforced at all. They don't actually go through and check to make sure that property is not residential, because currently that's how it's supposed to be, but obviously it's not. A lot of the Airbnbs that you see on Airbnb are actually in buildings that, technically you're not supposed to be doing Airbnb. So this one wouldn't actually cause that much change from how it currently is. It would just basically make it legal for what people are already doing right now here in Colombia. So the second policy that would have a more drastic impact here in Colombia that they're talking about doing, and we heard about this actually from my girlfriend. They had an event at the Chamber of Commerce talking about Airbnb, its impact on Colombia, Medellin. So actually what a lot of big hotel owners are pressuring and putting force on policymakers to do is actually implement more of kind of the policies that they already have in place and make it more difficult to do Airbnb. So they're wanting policymakers to actually enforce the rules that they have and go one step further and actually limit the amount of Airbnbs that you can have in Medellin. So they would give like coupons for Airbnbs. So there would be a certain number of Airbnbs that can be in Medellin. You have to apply for a coupon to do Airbnb. Similar to how a lot of cities in the US are now. They have like a set limit of Airbnbs that you can do. To be honest, I kind of hope I wouldn't mind if this happened. This would set a cap on new supply, and the Airbnbs that I already have and everyone else has will be set in stone, basically grandfathered in. It would limit new supply, so obviously that's good for prices. Keeping out new supply, prices would stay elevated, where they are now, and really put a cap or a floor under what prices might come down to. And of course, this is being pushed by the big hotel owners. One of the guys there had, I think Luisa said, like 800 rooms or something like that, and something crazy here in Medellin. So I mean, they're putting some pressure on policymakers. They're actually the ones that influence the policy of what the rules are in place today for Airbnbs. Again, it's not being enforced, so they want to take it one step further, putting pressure on the policymakers to make it even harder and actually have like a cap and limit on how many Airbnbs can be in Medellin. We'll see. I really have no idea what's going to happen. Kind of weird, because one has already passed through some like legal barriers in Congress, and it just has one more round to go. If I had to bet, I don't think it's going to pass, just because there's already a lot of kind of pushback on people that are from Medellin, and they're seeing all these foreigners come in. Gentrification, that term has been blown up a lot over the last year here in Medellin, and probably foreigners coming here do push prices up a little bit, but I think it's more policymakers not building enough here in Medellin, and also the fact that Medellin's built in like a little valley, and to be honest, they're running out of room basically to build more. That's why they're building a lot of new development is outside the valley. So in places like Rio Negro by the airport, Retiro, where I used to live, Bello, Copacabana, a little bit less common, but still. So, I mean, I don't really believe in the gentrification thing. All around the world, this is kind of the same phenomenon. In the US, this is what happens when the government prints 70% of, I think it's like 70% of the currency in 2 years after the COVID crisis. So I don't really understand how it's being blamed on gringos. Obviously, yes, we're putting a little bit of a floor under some of the like nicer residential neighborhoods like Poblado. But again, even Poblado, that's the most touristy neighborhood. Gringos living here full time, it's like a fraction, maybe like probably way less than 1% of all of Poblado, like probably 0.1% or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Again, I don't think the first one's gonna have much of an impact on the Airbnb market. It's already, pretty much how it is now. It might make it a little bit more, like incentivize people a little bit more to do Airbnb. But the second kind of like reality is where I see kind of a bigger change occurring and really putting a massive floor under prices. So yeah, I just thought that would be interesting to share with you guys, trying to get involved more in kind of the local like markets here and politics and all those things with Airbnb. It's going to be something interesting to watch over the next 2-3 months, probably even longer. Things take forever here in Colombia to get anything done. This is no different. If you have any questions about doing Airbnb, getting started with Airbnb or real estate here in Colombia, Medellin, don't hesitate to book a call. I have a link down in the description. It should be the first or second link where you can book a call with me and my team and see if it'd be a good fit, if we can help you here in Colombia. I've been doing this for 5 years here in Colombia, so I've built a pretty big team and kind of network of contacts that I can trust, handyman, electrician, contractors, designers. And this is where we can help in and really help you out if you are interested in doing Airbnb here in Colombia. That is it for this video. I might make an update in a few months with whatever they actually decide and end up doing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.